Glad to be playing in Miami. Been a rough weather weekend outside. Very good indoors for the Nats. Plenty of curly W's. Harper fans, you name it, they're here cheering on the Nats, looking for a sweep today. The month of May has been very good for the Nats. They are 15-6, right up there with the Yankees, Brewers, Red Sox, all the teams that are really at the tops of their divisions all around baseball. So Bob and FP, we welcome you to the ballpark. Pretty good feeling when Strasburg's going. You're looking for a sweep, and you've come off two pretty dramatic ball games.
Well, let's say it. You might as well, right? Good teams take 2 out of 3. Great teams
sweep.
Yeah, it's Steven Strasburg going for the sweep here. They go into Baltimore tomorrow, 1 o'clock game. You want this one. It's a tough turnaround with a day game tomorrow.
So some late inning heroics in both of the games. Good pitching has been featured throughout, but Wilmer Difo woke up everything yesterday. It looked like the Nats were going to be shut out.
Yeah, Chen was pitching well, then all of a sudden Wilmer Difo got everybody going in the dugout. Mark Reynolds kind of continued with a shortstop-like play at first base to cut down Cameron Maybin on the Justin Bour swing to keep it a 1-1 tie. You're thinking right there, this guy can't do any more, can he? We'll get to that in a minute. Justin Miller out of the bullpen doing a great job. Tim Collins out of the bullpen doing a great job. And then here's that man again going deep. What seems like every single night to put the ball club ahead 2-1.
Mark Reynolds has been outstanding. 5 homers, 7 RBIs for the Nats. And then, of course, none of this matters if you don't have a lockdown closer, and Doolittle is that guy.
You said to me we went off the air yesterday, isn't it nice to have a lockdown closer like Sean Doolittle? And there's the numbers for Mark Reynolds in 9 games this year for the Nats.
Yeah, and are you seeing a Virginia connection type of pattern here? Hey, by the way, regarding today's game, what does Reynolds have to do to get in the lineup? Matt Adams at first base today, indicating the depth and the power this club has.
Yeah, I mean, you're not losing a whole lot with what Matt Adams has done in his 12 home runs so far.
All right, so there's Steven Strasburg. Speaking of depth, I mean, there's Max. Then there's Roark, who pitched 7 yesterday. So Steven on the road's been just downright nasty. 4 starts, 3-1 record, and since 15, he's 25-7 away from Nationals Park. More on the pitchers and the matchup. Nats looking for 3 in a row right here today. Miami Marlins. Glad you're at the ballpark today, guys. I like the old block W. Old school Washington. The Nats have beaten them 10 in a row, and it's very close to the team record. Now, the Seattle thing's kind of odd. It took a decade to do that because we don't see the M's very often. But, you know, the Marlins and the Braves are in there, the Phillies, teams from your own division, not easy to do. Steven Strasburg, August 30th of 2017. Not only have he pitched his second complete game against the Marlins, but look what he did to right center.
I mean, opposite field home run. Tremendous display of strength. 110 pitches in that one. That was his third career home run. He struck out 8, he walked 1. So the reason we're showing you this is, well, we're hoping he does something similar here today to get the sweep against the Marlins and have a happy flight to Baltimore.
Yes, Steven Strasburg is 15-7 in 28 career starts against Miami, and the last 6 have gone very well. ERA way down there. Opponent's batting average way down there. And the Nats starters know if they can go 6-7 or whatever, they've got a solid bullpen behind them. Take, for example, the success in this series. 5 innings, 1 run, 7 strikeouts, 3 holds, and saves. Number 10 and 11 for Sean Doolittle. He's been the lockdown guy late. And Justin Miller threw 3 pitches and got a W last night. Nats on a roll, trying to sweep their way right out of Miami. Better time to act than today. PNC, make today the day. And by Lexus, experience amazing. Now we're used to seeing the sun, buildings all lit up, looking beautiful, but this has pretty much been our view of Miami since we got here in the wee hours on Wednesday night / Thursday morning. Although it is 79 degrees outside. So the Nats, best May in franchise history, just 3 years ago when they went 18-9, and they've got a chance to do better than that. The Nats leading off an inning, one of those odd stats in baseball, getting guys on base, and also a lot of extra base hits. Slugging percentage has a lot to do with doubles, triples, and homers. And Steven Strasburg, we told you he's won 6 in a row against the Marlins, and now dating back to April of last year, he has 18 consecutive scoreless innings against Miami. The Nats are hitting .238, 9th in the league, 4th in runs, 1st in home runs, 1 more than Milwaukee. So Trey Turner's on a good little hitting streak here. 10 hits over 7 games and 32 at bats. Trey continues his fine bat work. He's driven into. He has 3 runs in this series, and Matt Adams gets the nod at first base today. And he's 5 of his last 9 over 3 games with a couple of homers and 4 RBIs. So the Nats are getting some offense up and down the lineup. They're facing a 23-year-old rookie, Yadier Hernandez, who's been pretty good in his 2 starts. Overall, he's 0-1, 4 games total, 2.08 ERA.
Opponents hit .288 against his fastball, .400 against his slider, and .222 against his changeup. 3rd start of the season for the 23-year-old, 6 foot, 210 pounds. Made 2nd career start last time out against the Mets. Tough luck loss on the 21st. Gave up just 1 run on 5 hits over 5. through 78 pitches last start. So here we go. Nats going for the sweep here in Miami.
Started the season in Single A, then to Jacksonville, and then to the big ball club.
There's the defense for the Fish today. JT Realmuto going all 3 games behind the plate for the Marlins.
Yeah, Severino says you play 3, I'll play 3. Pedro's in there for the Nats today. And the Marlins pitching staff has the highest ERA overall in the league, 4.94. The Nats check in the top 4 at 3.41, and got some details a little later about how well the starters have been doing compared to some other ball clubs. So Miami 19-32 for Don Mattingly overall, 11 back of the Phillies. Yeah, the Phillies are the first place team now. Nats a game and a half back of the Phils, who throw Nick Pivetta at home against Toronto today. Braves are at Boston. Mike Foltynewicz at Fenway in Atlanta, trying to avoid a sweep up there.
Wilmer going straight Rocket in the dugout right now, ready to rock and roll. Dave Martinez hoping for another W. And while I'm thinking of it, I just wanted to say that I think Don Mattingly is one of the most underrated managers in baseball. He did a nice job with the Dodgers. He came down to South Florida after they decided to go in a different direction. He hasn't had a whole lot to work with here pitching wise since the death of Jose Fernandez. He had a great offensive team last year. Now they're starting all over again. They're building from within, and they're hoping to be a good ball club for a long time to come. But that's not easy for a skipper starting over and being part of that rebuild.
3rd year here for Mattingly, and we are underway 1 minute late at 1:11. Trey Turner hitting .271. On base percentage is .364. He rips one to left, and it's right at Derek Dietrich to a knee, catching a rocket to start the game.
All right, today's a good day for Bryce to have a good day. I'm calling it right now.
2 for 9, couple of RBIs on Friday, a base on balls in the series.
And he's had some good days. I shouldn't be so critical. I mean, a great day. How about that?
All right. 6 for his last 21, 2 homers, 5 driven in. Still first in the league in homers, top 3 in RBIs. First in walks, 6th in runs. Pretty good changeup. Hernandez opponent batting average of .280 so far. He's given up 1 home run in 13 innings. Pitch up, and Bryce hopping all over it.
See, you just tell his body language. You've seen every one of his at-bats since he was 19. He's frustrated that he's fouled balls off that should be in play, and I'm telling you, that's more frustrating as a hitter than anything. When you get your pitch and you foul it off and you're still standing at the plate, doesn't mean he's not going to have a good at-bat and finish it with a knock. It's just frustrating. It is.
Did he go? Home plate umpire is going to punch him out. Ramon De Jesus in his 3rd year, calling the strikeout.
From the side. Yeah, De Jesus pointed at Bryce and then gave the call, so it's a swinging strike 3.
Anthony Rendon with 2 outs. In the series, 3 for 8. A rare thing happened yesterday. He did not get on base, but he has been aboard 26 of his 29 games. Way Matt Adams is swinging and a right-hander pitching. Nats would love to see Anthony aboard here in the 1st. Instead, it's a pop-up to the right side. Starlin Castro with 2 outfielders right behind him makes the call and the catch. And it's time for Steven Strasburg to go to work again against the Marlins.
Glove on, he's ready to go. Family's here, Marlins are here.
Better be ready for Brian Anderson. He's a good-looking rookie right now for this ball club. 2 hits and RBI on base 4 times in the series. He's also hitting .340 with runners in scoring position. The Fish are 13th in the league in batting average, and in Major League Baseball, last in runs, homers, and stolen bases. Steven Strasburg starts against Miami for the 29th time.
143 against the curveball, 118 against the changeups are the averages against. 309 against his fastball. So you look at the numbers for Steven this year. Had a 3-game winning streak snap last start on the 20th against the Dodgers. Walked a season high 4, but he struck out 7. And if you're the Marlins today, you don't want to get to 2 strikes. So we're going to show you why in a second.
Ball 1 to Derek Dietrich, who leads off for the 2nd day in a row. In the series, 1 for 7, a homer here Friday night. He has 1 career homer against Strasburg. Otherwise, domination by Steven. Dietrich 2 for 22 against him. So the big question is, will he get to 2 strikes here? On the breaking ball, he does.
All right, here you go. Here's why. Early morning research today showed me this. 1-2, the worst one, 054 average against. I am not getting the 2 strikes if I'm facing the big right-hander.
Gave him a 2nd consecutive breaking ball, and that's caught by Anthony Rendon.
052.
Not hit that hard at all.
Here's the defense for the Nats today. Soto, Taylor, Harper in the outfield. Turner and Defoe going to turn some sweet 2s up the middle. Rendon and Adams are going to pick it at the corners, and Pedro Severino is going to catch the ball when it's thrown to him. Here's Matt Adams, excuse me, at first base. Matt Williams played 3rd base and was the manager here 14 years ago.
If we have a future manager at first base, you never know in this game.
Thanks for covering me, partner.
Here's Realmuto. JT in the series, 4 for 9. He's one of the tougher matchups for Strasburg. 7 for 19. 1-1. High heat.
Ooh.
96, strike 2.
Early 96 too.
Taylor a little bit toward right center. And with the pitch away, Steven didn't miss by much. 2-2.
128 average against in this count.
And he took the breaking ball the other way. Up and in. All 3.
Fastball seems like it's got a little extra life to it today here early. I know it's just the 2nd hitter, but you can kind of tell how it's coming out and how it's finishing.
Their leading hitman, Castro, on deck. Challenge heater high in the air to right. Bryce just drifting to his left. 2 down. So here's Starlin Castro, who has 57 hits, 8th in the league. In this series, a couple of hits and a walk. Nats in the first 2 games have given up 6 runs on 16 hits. Of course, 5 of those Friday night. Roark and the bullpen shutting them down yesterday. On the inside edge. That's a nasty call if you're a hitter.
Pedro's glove sounds loud today, doesn't it? Just listen to the glove pop the next fastball. I don't know if it's because there's nobody here and there's acoustics, or Steven's just throwing that hard.
Wow, look at that big break.
I got to give the people credit that are here today. It rained, it was windy all night long. Alberto's in the Gulf Coast of Mexico, and it's been nasty here. So props to everybody who made it to the ballpark today.
Yeah. 0-2. Yeah, first storm of the season, Alberto. All over Cuba yesterday, we understand, and possibly headed Gulf Coast way. 0-2. Now Davies Ball Club 6 over 500. Just a game back of the Braves. Game and a half back of the Phils. 9 of the last 10 on the road. And averaging 7 runs a game. Not to mention the good pitching the guys are getting. Castro not at all interested in running to first, and that inning is over. Experience the power and toughness of Ram. We're talking about the do-up, and that's Matt Adams. So check out Ram at your local dealer or log on to ramtrucks.com to get to work. Guts, glory, Ram. Maybe you'll ram one out of here like you did 2 nights ago. Against right-handed pitchers. Maybe not often enough do we explain slugging percentage. It's a measure of the productivity of a hitter, and it's total bases divided by at-bats. That's how you come up with a slugging percentage, and total bases are achieved only by hits. You don't get a 1 for a walk. You get 1 for a single, 2 double, 3 triple, 4 homer. So Matt Adams doing some big-time work against right-handed pitchers with the total bases, thus the slugging percentage. But it puts a lot of value on the extra base hit.
Well described.
So 2 of his last 5 hits have been the maximum. 4 total bases with 1 swing, couple of homers.
Good take.
1 and 2 to Matt, hitting .276 overall. The other thing about Adams is on base percentage has been in the 370, 380 range most of the time the last couple of weeks. That's right in there. Second strikeout, 4 in a row for Hernandez, the 23-year-old rookie.
All right, now explain to me weighted OPS.
Well, on base percentage plus slugging is OPS. So what's the whole weighted thing?
I asked you.
Well, for guys who weigh more than 220 pounds, it's really weighted.
It takes into account ballparks, pitchers, atmospheric pressure.
Yeah.
Launch angle, exit velocity at Cape Canaveral. And just mushes them all into a computer.
1-1. Juan Soto, 5 for 17. Pair of doubles to bookend his day yesterday. This a 2-hopper to Castro, 2 down.
All right, Tampa Bay, San Francisco coming to the ballpark. You can see all kinds of animals. The buffalo, the panda, the giraffe, they're all coming to the ballpark. So bring the kids and check out the zoo. Going to be a good homestand. Visit nationals.com. So the Rays, the 5th and 6th. The Giants, the 8th through the 10th.
Hey, if I were those two, on the heels of the way they worked together yesterday, I'd be smiling as well. Tanner and Pedro were very good together yesterday.
Has there been a more popular player than the Buffalo? I mean, he's right up there, right?
Yeah, I think he is one of the most popular Nats ever. I think it goes way beyond the numbers and the performance on the field too. The whole attitude thing and
coming back from a kidnapping and knee surgery, and everybody rooting for him in both of those. Doing the horns when he got a double. Standing at home plate for 46 seconds every home run he hit.
He did admire a few. Yeah, just thinking of guys that have been with our team, maybe not, obviously not for their whole careers, but for a couple of years at a time who the fans just really took to. Michael A. Taylor drills one. That's beyond the reach of Brian Anderson. He's thinking 3. He might be in there standing up. And Michael A. Taylor has his 3rd hit of this series. A lot of them going for extra bases these days. 2nd triple of the year. And a chance for Defoe with 2 outs.
No, not too many times does there goes the no-hitter start with a triple. But Michael A. Taylor just pulverized this ball in the right center field gap. When he's going that way, look out. Kind of tripped around first, but that ball carried him away from Brian Anderson, allowed him to go from 2nd to 3rd. So stay hot, Michael A. Taylor. He's been doing it all in this series against the Marlins.
Boy, love to see him hitting it like that the other way. That is such a big thing for him. Any hitter for that matter. So for Michael A., 2nd 3-bagger of the year. That's on the inside edge, 1-1 to Wilmer Defoe. Michael had 3 triples all of last year. And Wilmer, the big blow yesterday, they got the Nats back even. He's going to take that one down, 2-1.
Well, here's the pitch we're talking about. I believe it was a 2-2 pitch. Looked like a curveball from Chen that he just dropped the barrel on, hit that net right inside the foul pole, stayed fair, and tied the game at 1. 1 run looked like it was going to be a lot to catch up to yesterday, and Wilmer did it with 1 swing.
This one popped a mile high on the left side of the infield. It's J.T. Riddle, and that's it for the Nats. They get their first base hit. Taylor stranded, no score. Make today the day. Murph and Goodwin both go 1 for 4 FP with Harrisburg yesterday.
They're ready. Call them up. We got some video of Daniel hits Murphy. Remember this guy? The guy that got 2 or 3 hits every single game his whole Nats career? Well, check it out. There's the finish we missed. A little top spin lob over the top. Watch what he does when he gets to first here. Over the infield.
Well done, Murph. And well done, Brian Goodwin. Severino and Strasburg working together again here, and the fastball is away to Justin Bour.
We miss Murph. Miss him on the field, miss him around the cage, miss him in the clubhouse. That's going to be a big shot in the arm of this club that's already 6 games over 500. He can't wait more than anyone.
It's a name you write down every day and then you just forget about it. Out of play, 1-2. With more on Murph, here's a guy named Colco.
Bob, we saw the hit there from Murphy, but Davey Martinez saying the best thing that he heard from Murphy's first rehab game yesterday was that after that hit, he went first to third. And we remember that the issue with Murph coming back from that knee injury, the last kind of hurdle he needed to conquer, was his running. So the fact that he went first to third yesterday, a huge indicator for Davey.
Nice addendum to our report, Dan. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
The second best thing you'll hear is how he woke up this morning feeling.
Yeah. Day after, always huge.
That's the hard part, rebounding and that knee responding after you ice it all night.
Defoe's in short right field. And a ball fouled. Steven Strasburg is 89-49 career. 195th start. 15 career wins against the Fish. Justin Bour is 5 for 20 against him. A homer, 5 RBIs. You just saw pitch number 6 on the outside edge. Mercedes-Benz on the AB pitch cast. 2-2 coming. That's a pretty good swing. Can't hit it much harder the other way. Justin Bour in this series had been 0 for 9 with 5 strikeouts.
Did a nice job of getting on top of this. You see the whole pattern, everything away, and Bour just goes with it. He starts doing that on a consistent basis. That 229 average will definitely climb in a hurry.
Here's Brian Anderson.
We can hear the dugout Marlins side screaming after that one. See high and low from the bench. I thought that was down, but it was clearly right in the middle of the box. Same pitch.
1-1. Anderson, one of their building blocks. 8 days ago, he turned 25. 3rd rounder 4 years ago. Severino slides to his right, 2-1. It's a lot of starts against the same franchise. Anderson high in the air to center. Taylor back. Stopping. That ball hit a ton. It's a graveyard for fly balls out there. And it's the first out of the 2nd inning.
So as a pitcher, you give up a hard hit fly ball like that that's deep and it doesn't go out, it's got to give you tons of relaxation.
Yeah.
So, all right. Get away with 1 or 2 here today. That's kind of cool.
Miguel Rojas. 1 hit, 2 RBIs in the series. Tied the game with a base hit here Friday night. Third-year umpire Ramon De Jesus letting the entire ballpark know that was a strike. Larry Vanover, the crew chiefs at first. Hunter Wendelstedt at second. Angel Hernandez at third. Oh, 2.
Stevens struck out 33% of the right-handers he's faced this year. That's 7th highest in baseball.
Right after him, and that ball foul. Well, Rojas, their everyday third baseman now, with Martin Prado on the DL with that left hamstring injury he suffered here Friday. Just when the Marlins thought Martin Prado was on his way back, he got hurt on his 3rd hit of the night. Actually already had 3. Was trying to leg out a grounder that was eventually ruled an error. Whoa, up and in, and he had nowhere to go. And you could see the reaction and hear the reaction from the hitter. 2 on, 1 out.
Changeup that got away at 88. Didn't try to hit him, obviously. And I think he did the Daniel Murphy eye, and it got him. Speaking of Murph. That was almost right where you never, ever want to get hit, ever. Changeup just kind of took off and just grazes him on the inner thigh, outer thigh.
Next up is the shortstop. Called up after Rojas went to third and Prado went to the DL. JT Riddle 0 for 4 in his 2018 debut yesterday.
You know, with the new kind of open your hips up,
yeah,
drive your knee into your back knee into your front knee, launch angle swing, and guys cheating to get to the fastball. Guys don't know how to get out of the way of a pitch now. If you're thinking keep my front side closed and pound down on the ball's in, you just turn your shoulders and wear it in the back or your buttocks. But now with the drop and drive, open up everything, swing up thing, you're really opening yourself up to getting hit in the chest, the face even maybe, and your front side, which you never saw back in the day.
And guys throwing so hard, everything happening in fractions of a second now. No way to get out of dodge. Little flare foul, strike 2. JT Riddle is from the capital of Kentucky, Frankfort. Former Mr. Baseball in that state. Went to UK. Target away. 2-2.
The guy on deck, Lewis Brinson, fouled the ball off the outside of his back leg in the first game of this series, which I had never seen in my life. The outside of his right thigh, he fouled a pitch off the other night. To talk about guys opening up and trying to get the ball in the air. I talked to some, Bryce has hit some off his back knee before. I talked to some of the Marlins coaches. They had never seen a guy foul the ball off the outside of his back leg.
That means wide open, baby.
Yeah.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Change up, darting away from the left-handed batter. Strasburg's second K of the day. 2 down, Brinson.
They got a lot of fade on the changeup today. A lot of fade.
That doesn't always have to be down and away, as long as you got that away movement. So here's Brinson. This ought to be interesting.
Pitch to him carefully.
First base occupied by Rojas, second base by Boer, but the pitcher to have Peace Point is on deck. And he's a rookie who's had 4 at-bats.
I tell you what, from what we've seen with Brinson, it's a small sample size. And Pedro's going to go out and either change up signs or talk about game plan. For a young prospect, Carp, that's a free swinger and that lets it rip, the 8th hole is the hardest place to hit. Not that Don Manley should move him up to 1 or 2 based on his numbers. But to be disciplined and to take pitches and to not swing, and you're a free swinger and you're young, to learn how to hit at this level, hitting 8th is darn near impossible with all those things I just described.
And when will you ever see a fastball anywhere near the center of the plate?
Yeah.
Never. Maybe if it's elevated up around your chin. It's pretty close to the plate. And here's the 0-1. Late for the heater.
Yeah, Justin Bour just took 2 steps back towards second before that pitch, and that's what Pedro Severino went out there for. So if you get off your lead and you take a step back toward the bag, you're telling the hitter that the catcher went that way and then it's going to be away. If you get your primary lead and take a step that way, you're telling the hitter that the catcher set up in. So first of all, you're going to stop, and then where you go after you stop is telling location. The way you counteract that is you set up late as a catcher so that they can't do it. But a lot of pitchers like their catcher set up early and they don't care. So it's personal preference on what your catcher does to counteract the runner given location.
Oh, 2. One of the most struck out hitters in the league with 60. '61. Severino just flies out of the box and he's already in the dugout. We're going to the top of the 3rd. 3 Ks for Strasburg. Steven comes up big with the changeup.
This June, the Rays, the Giants, the Yankees, the Orioles, and the Phillies are coming to the Yard. Nats Pass is available exclusively through MLB Ballpark app, so download that today. You can start enjoying all-you-can-eat baseball for the month of June.
Like it. The anatomy of a 10-game road segment where the Nats have won 5 of them, over 5 runs a game. So a homer and a half per game. ERA pitchers, as mentioned, doing wonderful things and not giving the other team many chances at all to get base hits. Severino, Strasburg, Turner, top 3.
Sweeping Arizona in there.
4 games at Arizona. Who does that?
You know, when you're sharing nachos, that's the way to do it. You know, one dunk and then the whole thing in your mouth, because then you're not double dipping.
Yeah.
Right?
That double dipping.
That's very crazy. One and then the whole chip in your mouth.
Right.
Because if you bite half the chip, you can see that's perfect. That's perfect form. Good launch angle, good exit velocity. Let's see how she does it. She gonna go the whole nacho?
I'd like to see Severino go whole nacho with a fly ball here sometime soon. Still looking for his first homer of the year.
Also, if you bite it, you're taking the risk of the thing breaking all up, and then you have nothing to go back with the second dip. So that was perfect form on his part. That's big league nacho eating 101.
A lot of fans go on the road for more practice, and that's really good.
I like it.
2-2 now to Severino. Pedro in the series, he's walked. He's been hit by a pitch, but he's 0 for 7. Day game tomorrow in Baltimore. That ball drilled into left. Scoreless game early. That's big. Give Strasburg a chance to maybe move a runner.
Thank you. It's been a while. Thank you. Right on top of the plate. Check out Pedro crowding the plate. Early leg kick. Drills a single to left. And then thanks the dugout and the baseball gods for a base knock.
Charging hard to the corner infielders, and Strasburg took ball 1.
That's just screaming for a fake bunt slash butcher boy base hit. When you see the uncontrollable charge like that, Carp, you can pull back and whack it right by him.
There was a wild boar charging from first.
You could see him on the next homestand too. The panda.
Strasburg a bouncer, backing up Castro. Riddle, little anxious moment catching that ball, and Severino's slide left him a little short. 4-6-3, 2 outs.
So Dave Martinez saw what we saw, and on the first pitch, the corners crashed uncontrollably. I mean, they were coming in too hard. So maybe he wiped it off, and that's what they're talking about. Here's the first pitch. Watch these guys. Full speed. Here we come. The bench saw that, and they said, well, if you guys are going to do that, we're going to do this. But they didn't go on the second one. They both held their ground, and they induced the 4-6-3 double play. Smart move by the Marlins, and you understand why they let Steven swing away based on the first pitch. They trapped him.
Well, sometimes it doesn't work out, and sometimes it's first and third, nobody out if it gets through. So here's Trey, lined out hard to left first time. The infamous second bat for Trey Turner in a ball game. He's going to try to lay one down. Pretty close to the pitcher, though. Pretty aggressive, and a great finish by Hernandez. So he faces 10 batters through 3. No score.
It's time for some Files by Verizon Exmo. This is always cool, watching the Steven Strasburg changeup. That's the one to Castro. Look at this one with some serious late fade on it to JT Riddle. Searcher, he couldn't solve that change joke. And the 118 average against on the changeup. You kind of understand why, seeing it in super duper slow-mo. The 100% fiber optic network means more speed for more devices at once. Visit getfiles.com.
So evidently that interview with Coco during spring training Strasburg did really set the stage for a great season of off-speed stuff that we keep seeing.
My favorite part
over and over
was when he said, it's like you cut your index finger off, but then he looked at the camera and said, yeah, kids, don't cut your finger off.
Cut your finger off.
Just don't use your index finger, and it's your last three, and they decelerate the baseball. You hold it on your fingertips with a loose grip, and you have to trust it. Throw it as hard as you can.
I remember talking to Jim Cott years ago. Some of the pitchers called that the old 75 because you were using three of those, three of the fingers, and that pitch would, for guys like him, would be about 75 miles an hour. For Strasburg, it's a lot harder because he's such a big, powerful guy. But, just talked about not using all your fingers and just choking that thing off.
Well,
Eliezer Hernandez.
I was taught that the index finger and the middle finger are gas pedals, and that the ring finger and the pinky are brakes.
Ah.
So you can take that middle finger and use it as a brake too if you hold it loosely on the baseball.
Swing and a miss. Severino, the tag after the trap.
The hard tag.
He and Hernandez must know each other. I hope they do, because he kind of slapped him silly on strikeout number 4.
I heard the tag up here. Check it out. Ball in the dirt. Watch Pedro. He's fired up today.
Hey.
Love the way that guy plays.
4 Ks for Strasburg, 3 in a row. First time around the order. On the Boers single, Marlins go 1 for 8. Rojas hit by an off-speed pitch. So here's Derek Dietrich, who lined out softly to Rendon on a 1-2 pitch to start off the Marlins first. And by the way, if you're wondering about Murphy and Goodwin today, the Harrisburg game won't start until well after we're done. They are playing at 6:30 tonight. We appreciate the guys up in Harrisburg and in Potomac and Syracuse keeping in touch with us and letting us know game times and all the information we need. So thanks to them for that. 1-1 out of play. Speaking of minor league teams, I just had to remember our little baby cakes discussion the other night.
Yeah, creepiest mascot ever.
New Orleans AAA. Their AA are the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Their high A is the Jupiter Hammerheads, and their low A is the Greensboro Grasshoppers. So maybe the Marlins have the best minor league names in all of baseball.
Well, I like Hammerheads. That's cool.
The Greensboro Grasshoppers.
Yeah, that's not going to instill fear in me if I'm playing the Grasshoppers.
The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. 1-2 to Dietrich. Strasburg trying to bring that curveball around. Hey, by the way, based on our earlier discussion, I'm compiling a little list here of, we talked about the Buffalo players that were in DC for a certain period of time who kind of achieved cult status.
Yeah.
So we'll I'd like your opinion on this, because you might have a name or two to add.
Clip.
I also wrote down Mikey Morse.
Yeah, the Beast, Clip.
Roger Bernardina.
Shark.
The Shark. Pudge, who's beloved everywhere he's been.
I don't know about Pudge. Yeah.
And we were talking Hall of Famer there, but and then from the first year and beyond, Vinny Castilla. Chief, Chad Cordero. Levon Hernandez, of course, who big part of this team's history. There's Gio, who's got the personality, and I think Wilmer Defoe could be one of those guys.
Kind of a good nickname and a good hook. It's not about always the ability. It's about
that's true.
Likability.
Yeah.
And fans kind of gravitating towards you.
Yeah. Buffalo Beast and Shark. I mean, you named them right in a row.
Adam LaRoche.
So here comes pitch number 8 on the Nissan Pitchcast.
Jason Worth, of course.
2-2. You know, but guys that touched us in different ways.
Yeah.
Not just stats and
Launch angles. Ooh, that guy in 2010 had the best launch angle, I swear. We used to go to the park to watch his launch angle.
I will say that Mikey Moe had the best launch angle of any of those guys.
He did, you're right.
He's in the studio this weekend with Johnny and Mikey. Had we known, we would have talked about it a whole lot more, but we didn't know that much about this stuff a few years ago.
Kick off Pride Week on Tuesday, June 5th with Night Out at Nats Park, where the Nats take on the Rays. Tickets for Night Out include a donation to Team DC when you purchase through our special ticket events page. Visit nationals.com. Always one of the best nights of the year at the Yard. June 5th, Night Out.
Here's JT Realmuto. Some of you who know politics very well back home, and we know many of you do. JT is from a high school named after a great Speaker of the House. Democrat Speaker of the House from 71 to 77, Carl Albert. JT's high school back in Midwest City, Oklahoma. 0-2 now.
Denard Span.
Maybe cleanest routes ever, maybe, for a Nats outfielder?
Yeah, he's on hashtag. Remember, we said it's like the
Spanning.
beginning of wide world of sports, spanning the globe.
Good call.
Timo.
Yeah, Tyler Moore. Love that guy. I don't know. We're just kind of nostalgic sitting here on a Sunday afternoon.
I like it.
Thinking back over 13, 14 years of baseball. 0-2 with 1 out. Wow, Strasburg down and away. Looked like the catcher, Realmuto, was checking with the umpire to see if it would have been a called third strike, and that's K number 5.
That's pain. It's power and command combo platter. Looked like Realmuto was looking in. You see the front side just leak a bit right there. When a guy throws 96, sometimes you got to cheat to the fastball. When you do and it's away, tough to get to.
Oh, now that's a little unfair right there. Wow. Guy's got 16 big league innings, but he does have 8 Ks.
They just backed the bus up on the Marlins pitcher and field out.
They just backed up the production truck over him. Well done, guys. Castro, and we showed you the nasty off-speed pitch on which Strasburg got him ending the first inning. That was strikeout number 1. Well, that was a big swing, and now Steven has fanned 4 of the last 5.
You know, all the division championships are awesome, and the way this organization has been developed to be good for a long time, it's always special. But there's something about that 2012 group.
Yeah.
It'll always be special to me. It was so new and fresh and organic and unexpected. It's hard to replicate that first NL East championship and the celebration that ensued with the fans and Zim in the dugout. Stuff I'll never forget. Mikey Moe back in the studio right now, how he had triple barrel beers in his back pocket, was running around spraying fans. I mean, that part with Gio celebrate, I mean, that'll always be near and dear to my heart, that 2012 group. I'll never forget that as long as I'm in baseball.
Well, you mentioned Zim, and that's my lasting image. The total release of frustration and exhilaration on the face of Ryan Zimmerman when the Nats clinched during a game.
Yeah, that night was probably top 5 nights for me in baseball, cleats or no cleats. And then the rest of the night after that we can't talk about on TV until the sun came up.
Well, there was a game the next day. Some of us went prepared.
A spike in my head.
So there's the aforementioned 57 hits for Castro. Might be the sneaky bio of the series that Starlin Castro is a 4-time All-Star. 3 with the Cubs and last year with the Yankees when he hit 300. He's always been a good hitter. 282 career coming into this season. He has 2 home runs, so he broke the 100 barrier. He's at 101, and he's over 500 career runs batted in. Two balls, 2 strikes. Great jump, but it didn't matter. Dietrich at second base, but the inning's over. Strikeouts keep on coming, and here comes Bryce. Rendon and Adams to follow. No score.
He knows what he's doing. We know what he's doing. And sometimes a hitter, you just get into these little ruts where you can't get out. Watch the front shoulder. Watch the front hip right here on the pitch away to strike him out first time on the check swing. They're kind of leaving early. Watch. What does that tell me? That means he's really aware of the fastball inside. And he's conscious of that. But when you look at pitch cast, I'll draw more circles. Everything's away to Bryce lately. So when that front side goes this way, it's hard to get to the pitch on the outside. So what do we call that in hitting terms? He's kind of cheating to get to the fastball in, or very aware of the fastball in, which leaves him wide open to anything hard or soft away. And look where he's setting up. So they're seeing the leak that we're seeing. He knows he's doing it. He's working hard every day to correct it, but you just get into these habits and these ruts that are hard to get out of. And once he gets out of it and starts driving the ball toward that artwork out in left center, it's going to be ugly for everybody he plays.
2-0 here. It's been a series this weekend where there's been very little early scoring. Michael A. Taylor's 2-run homer, second inning Friday night. The only runs in this series that have been scored by either team before the 4th inning. So another example today, scoreless through 3. 0-2-0 Nats, 0-1-0 Miami. 3-0. Green light's got to be blazing, right? But he gets under it. Up near the girders. Castro out, Anderson in. Starlin Castro for the first down.
Pretty good pass, just missed it. Almost hit the roof, and I don't know that anybody ever has here. Giancarlo hit it once in the home run derby, or maybe Judge, but that was close. Just got underneath it. What a fairly good pass here by Bryce. Watch, look where that ball cut to.
Rendon popped up to Castro first time. Pretty good 3 innings, by the way, for Hernandez. 33 pitches, 21 strikes. So he's averaging 11 per inning. Steven Strasburg is at 65 pitches through 3. 46 strikes. But 6 strikeouts will add a bunch to the total. Anthony started, stopped, and it's another 3-0 count.
Can't keep falling behind to the heart of the Nats order, expect to get away with it. These guys are too good of hitters.
Adams next. That ball is drilled to left center. See you later on the stairway where the flagpoles are. Rendon's 5th of the year, 1-0 Nats.
So short, so quick, so violent. The swing by Anthony Rendon. Watch this. Not trying to do too much in a 3-1 count. Just let the bat do the work. Foot down early, hands in the strike zone. Loud noise. And just like that, it's 1-0 Nats.
That's over a 10-foot wall out there. Plenty of room to spare, and banging off the stairs. Here's Adams, and it's 1-1 to Matt. So the Nats have now hit 67 on the year. Started the day 1 up on the Brewers, who have hit 65.
It's the prettiest right-handed swing in baseball.
2-1. Phillies, by the way, at home, behind early, 2-0 to the Blue Jays. Braves had 3 early runs at Boston this afternoon on last report. 2-1 to Matt, who's hit 12. And this one's high in the air to right. Can the ballpark hold it? Yes, it can. Anderson pulls it in just a couple of feet short.
Two-1 almost went deep. 3-1 did go deep, and 3-0 was just missed. So living dangerously, just maybe got in on him a little bit with the extension portion of the swing. Kind of had the bent arms going at contact there. If he gets fully extended, that's in the upper deck.
Here's Juan Soto. Bouncing ball to second, his first time up. Nationals have hit 5 home runs in this series. 2 in each of the first 2 games, and now Rendon. Going to have a quick visit almost as the pitcher was getting ready to deliver.
He's going to say, hey, we need to start working ahead.
On Davis. Batter was in the box. It looked like Hernandez was ready to pitch. And all of a sudden, out of the dugout came his coach.
You know, a lot of guys, Carp, when they're ahead, they get real anxious. I'm 3-1, and they go with max effort swing. What does max effort swing do? It slows you down, and maybe you catch it out front, hook it foul. Maybe you tie yourself up and don't even hit it. But watch this 3-1 swing, how smooth it is. Just foot down early, almost no stride. The Paul Molitor type bat throw where it's just hands, bat, contact, so quick. But didn't try to overdo it there. He let the pitcher supply the power. He put barrel on baseball and hit it 421 feet for a 1-0 lead.
83rd career homer for Rendon.
That was a good swing.
I suddenly got curious as to how many home runs Paul Molitor hit. He ended up hitting 234 home runs. Of course, he played 21 years. I mean, amazing endurance and consistency by that Hall of Fame guy with 3,000 hits. There's a great swing by Soto. This is going to plug the gap. He's going to hit that ball about 380 something the other way. Juan Soto's last 3 hits in this series have been doubles to right field, left field, and now left center.
That's a pretty swing. He's had some good rips this whole at bat. Looked like he tried to go backdoor slider there, and Soto with the 2-strike approach. Look at him spread out, choked up. Just so refreshing to see a 19-year-old in today's game choke up, spread out, and slap a double in the gap the other way.
Here's Taylor, who tripled to right center today. So the Nats, as a team, have already hit for the cycle. Taylor's triple, Severino's single, Rendon's homer, Soto's double, and trying to add a big run here in the 4th for Steven Strasburg, who's pitching very well. Right-handed shift on for Taylor. 0-2. Michaels had a 3-for-7 series with a homer, 2 RBIs, and 2 walks. So you can go home again. Nice. Target away on 0-2. Maybe the perfect time for a little roller through the right side. See what the next pitch is. That one away. Just dawned on me, one of the guys I might have left off the list from the early Nats days, actually a coach here. Our old buddy Brian Schneider, who was such a great leader on the Nats, helps coach the catchers for Miami. Michael A can't get to that one upstairs, but Anthony Rendon got to one FP, left center.
Let's go watch it. broadcast today, and I want to show you Juan Soto's two-strike approach. Check out the wide base. And if you don't see Joey Votto there, just a little bit of Joey Votto. See, he's choked up too. Go ahead and roll it, guys.
Good call, by the way.
In the two-strike approach, where there's just a little stride and put the ball in play. And I was talking to Don Mattingly around the cage yesterday, and to me, he's borderline Hall of Famer, maybe should be a Hall of Famer. And we were talking about how today's game has strikeouts in it, and how in our day, that was the worst thing that you could possibly do in an at-bat. That was the pitcher beating you as much as a pitcher could beat you in one at-bat. So there was two-strike adjustments all the time, like you just saw with Juan Soto. And I'm looking at Don Mattingly's numbers, and he never struck out more than 43 times in a season.
Wow.
That was in 1992 when he had 686 plate appearances. He struck out 43 times. But if you look, it's 41, 35, 38, 29, 30, 20 times. So he was a guy that used to do the same thing Juan Soto just did, spread out, take a little bit out of his swing and flip something to left for a double instead of turning and burning for a home run. And it's just so refreshing to see in today's game a guy feeling the same way about striking out.
Line drive and shiftage takes a 2-for-2 away from Justin Bour. Wilmer Difo out there in short right field.
Yeah, long way out there and almost had to come in on it a little bit. Towards center field, backhand, and gets up to it and fires it to Trey Turner. I love it.
You know, and you talk about flipping one to left field. Juan Soto flipped that ball 380 or 385 to the gap.
Yeah, good point.
That is such good stuff.
It just shows you could still do damage, spread out, choked up, putting the ball in play.
Yeah, to see a guy who's been in the big leagues for a week do that, that's amazing. Some guys have been in the league for 5 years still haven't done it. Anderson, a fly ball to Taylor. He got the tar out of it. Michael A went to the track in deep center to haul it in back in the second. Gonna hit it on the nose again. This one to Trey Turner. 2 outs. Steven could use a quick inning. We talked about that. Pitch count. 4th inning of Nationals baseball brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4 Toyota. What's up, buddy? What drives you in about 12 years? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. Families at the ballpark, nothing better. Hope you're having a great holiday weekend.
Go Caps.
We'll talk more about Memorial Day tomorrow. Have heard that a couple 100,000 Rolling Thunder vehicles have made their way to DC this weekend. Here's Miguel Rojas, who was hit by an off-speed pitch with Strasburg ahead in the count first time up. That ball hit really hard up the middle. Miguel Rojas, 4 for 11 career against Strasburg with that ringing base hit.
All right, Friday, June 8th, Market Downs. Ryan Zimmerman bobblehead night. That's presented by Delta Airlines. They do a fine job flying the Nats all over the place. First 25,000 fans pick up the third of 5 Nats bobbleheads. Giants in town, 7:05. Visit nationals.com today. Ryan Zimmerman bobblehead night.
Somebody just tweeted us a good name for our list. Tyler Clippard.
I said Clip.
Oh, you
one
did?
of my first
Okay.
ones.
Clip and save. Tyler and Drew Storm.
He's right behind Buffalo on my list.
And somebody tweeted Ian Desmond to me, and I agree with that. But Ian Desmond stands out to me for other reasons. What he did on the field, his leadership in the clubhouse. Not really kind of an offbeat cult figure like some of the other guys, but Ian Desmond represented everything that was good and stable and first class as the organization got better and better. He was the last holdover to the Montreal era, actually drafted by the Expos out of Sarasota, Florida.
Somebody tweeted me the Buffalo, and I said, that's how we started. Clean the wax out of your ears.
So you didn't say Beatles broke up to him? 1 ball, 1 strike. So having fun with it. 16 pitches first inning, then 26, then 23 in the third. But when you look at the series, I mean, Davey had to use a bunch of pitchers to get through the 7th inning the other night, but none of them threw more than 9 pitches. Kinsler and Doolittle finished up, and then Dr. Dew yesterday after Justin Miller got a 3-pitch win. So the bullpen, not like it's worn out or anything. Strike call, Mercedes-Benz, pitch cast.
Arm side run here. Good frame to keep the ball from running further.
Yeah, Severino snapping it back subtly. Three and two. So the Marlins down by a run, only 2 hits after the Rojas single here. Gonna get a chance to have a runner on the move with JT Riddle in there. Rojas running, swing and a miss. Number 7 for Strasburg. 12 outs, 7 on Ks, every one of them swinging.
Difo comes into today ranking 6th among all big league hitters when it comes to batting average on balls outside, on the outer part of the plate. He's hitting .333 on pitches away from him. And I talked to Wilmer the other day about how he's able to have so much success when he chokes up on the bat as frequently as he does. He said his key is to let the ball get deep and attack pitches middle away. He knows that he can turn on the pitch in. He has the quick hands to react to that. So there, drives the ball to the right center field gap, guys.
Go ahead, Dan, call the rest of the play. It's going for 3, I think. Oh, Coco, you had a chance for your first triple call there. But exactly what Dan's talking about. And the Nats have a bunch of extra base hits today and 2 triples.
Right on cue. How do you drive the ball choked up? Well, you have better barrel control through the zone. Nice short compact swings work too. We saw Juan Soto choked up, go to left center field. Now Wilmer Difo choked up, goes to right center field for a triple, and the sideline reporter choked up on his first play-by-play call.
You know, Dan, I'm not going to be sitting in this booth forever. You had a real shot there to cement your future.
I'll let that one slide, Bob. I'll let you take it.
Difo had 4 triples last year. So he's at third base with nobody out. Infield in. Severino, Strasburg, and Turner now, the next 3 hitters. Big time to get that second run home right now. Severino didn't like it, up and in a bit, strike 1. Got the reporter channeling triples here today. Wow.
The report on Severino, Dan.
Gonna fight one off and hope it gets out of play. but it will not. Justin Bohr has it. And now Steven Strasburg will swing away and try to get himself a 2-run lead.
Well, you know what's coming here. He's looking for the sign. He's going to push it to first base, and Wilmer's going to read it and scramble home. The only mystery here is execution. Bohr 2 steps in on the grass at first, but if you bunt this to first, Wilmer walks home whether the Marlins know it, like it, or not.
Steven has 18 career RBIs. None this year. It's 2 for 22. Target in. And Defoe just back in at third. That's the second time the Marlins have thrown to third on a pickoff attempt in this series.
Mattingly holding up play. They're looking at it in the Marlins clubhouse. Let's see. I couldn't tell from here. Anti-squeeze play right here by the Marlins. Ooh, a little jab step by Wilmer was the difference. It looked like his hand got in there.
Yeah, he was back in, but they almost caught him unaware.
Well, teams know the Nats like to do the safety squeeze. They've done it pretty much every series against every team. So not a mystery, but there's ways to defend it. The Marlins just tried to defend it.
Strasburg 2-0.
Long look at Bob Henley. They're so worried about the squeeze, it's got Steven a 3-0 count. This is the perfect pitch to do it on if you're going to do it.
Yeah, as automatic a strike as there will be, right? Steven just taking all the way. Outfield pretty shallow. And around to the right. Strasburg, a base hit. First RBI of the year, 19th career, 2-0 Nats.
That was a big league at bat by the Nats pitcher. Wilmer's got to go back and pick up Derek Lilliquist. He left him hanging right there. Base hit on a 3-1 pitch. Looked like a little cutter away, and Steven just went with it. Drawn in infield, hit it hard, and Wilmer just high steps it home for a 2-0 lead.
Here's Trey Turner. Tried to bunt his way aboard last time. Left it too close to the pitcher. Lasered one right at the left fielder for an out. Leading off the game. So Trey in the series 3 for 12. 2 batted in. What are they throwing underhand on 1-1 to him? And this one will get out of play. Lefty Hartley and Garcia. For Harper. We'll see. That thing was in, and Trey turned on it. Hit right in a walkway that was unoccupied, fortunately, over there.
Tried to wade back, but the ball kind of kept chasing him in, and he had to get it out of there. Good balance. Everybody okay? Hitting 1,000 in cricket right now. Pretty good swings by Trey. The whole ball club has looked hitterish today.
Yeah, look where those two pitches were.
Hit or be hit.
And the barrel of the bat flew right over the Marlins' heads into the screen. And that's an example of where that screen might have saved a life right there.
Yeah, I mean, you're not even exaggerating for effect. The pointy end of the bat's going right at that little girl. Did you see that on the replay? About a 10-year-old girl sitting right there that would have got crushed by the bat. So thank goodness for nets.
Let's never raise that question again after seeing that replay.
Ever.
Where's this pitch going? Out over the plate a bit. And that will become a 5-3 line drive double play. I guess Trey Turner got his money's worth on swings in that AB. Strasburg's RBI puts the Nats on top by 2. Oh, Marlins, Bohr single, Rojas single. Potomac Nationals, you know, there's another minor league team pretty close by, the Frederick Keys, and they're going to play the Peanuts June 5th through the 7th down there in Woodbridge. It's a Deuces Wild Tuesday. Specials at the concession stands and the team store. Winning Wednesday. If the Peanuts win, you win, and then Thursday cheers at the Fitz. Call 703-590-2311 or visit PotomacNationals.com. Oh, Derek Lilliquist has stepped right in, been very much at home with his new pitching staff. Mike Maddox has done the same thing in St. Louis. Both teams probably happy with the swap, and look what they're doing this season, right behind in all of baseball the Astros and the Cardinals. Brought to you by PNC Bank. Make today the day, and for the starters, when it's been their day, they have certainly taken care of that carpe diem thing. So we're going bottom 5 with Brinson, Hernandez, we think, although they could be hitting for the pitcher, and then Derek Dietrich.
For the 400th time this year, no hitter alert. Mike Foltynewicz has got one against the Red Sox going through 5.
Another one.
the most no-hitters this early in the season through 5 and 6 innings ever in the history of baseball.
Trying to bunt Brinson. Looks like Hernandez is done for the day. JB Shuck is on deck to hit in the 9th spot. Chopper foul. In his 2 starts, by the way, Hernandez has gone 5 each time. 75 pitches, 78 pitches, so he's right at what you would perceive to be his limit right now. And they're about to hit for him.
You know, this Lewis Brinson, a tremendous prospect, all the talent in the world. He would be a guy that might benefit from the choking up and spreading out with 2 strikes thing that we saw from Juan Soto.
Right back under us. One jab step to the left by my partner, and then he stopped, realizing no chance. Don't worry about it, buddy. We'll be back at Fenway in 3 years.
Ooh.
That's a busted bat. Rendon's got to be quick. And the throw pulls Adams off the bag. And you would think Brinson will get a hit. That took a really great effort by the third baseman to even make it close.
But even that, putting the ball in play with 2 strikes, look what happens with the speed of Lewis Brinson. A broken bat, but it's an infield single. Good things happen when you put the ball in play.
JB Shuck 1 for 2 in the series. Pinch hit in the 6th inning. Friday night got a hit against Max Scherzer, stayed in the ball game, played right field, and grounded out later. And that saw him several years ago with Houston. Jack Burdett III, JB Shuck. Broke in with the Astros in 11, some time with the Angels, Cleveland, and the White Sox. Back in the big leagues for the first time in 2 years. Marlins signed him as a minor league free agent last November. One, ball driven the other way and driven well. Leaping catch by Soto, who eyed it the whole time. Brinson was already at second base, and that's a long, loud first out.
A pretty good play by Juan Soto, going a long ways for it. He knew the fence was approaching. He kind of reached back to find the fence, but Shuck gives it a ride the other way, and Soto checking where he is. Jumping at the last second. You see him look and see the fence. He knows he's got a little bit of room. Nice play.
What a good first week in the big leagues for him, huh?
Yeah, what's not to like so far?
Top of the order, Dietrich, who's lined out and walked, and that's a strike. That's a low throw. Adams had to dig it right into the runner. Brinson is 1 for 2 stealing. '85 stolen bases as a minor leaguer. One. Derek Dietrich in the series. 1 for 8, a homer, 2 RBIs, 2 walks.
Derek's grandfather played in the big leagues for a short time and was traded from Cleveland from Detroit for some guy named Norm Cash.
Wow.
How about that?
Norm Cash, a great left-handed hitting first baseman. He was on that 68 team that won the World Series, right?
Against the Cardinals, yeah.
2-2, Mercedes-Benz on the hook.
Back door, nasty.
Al Kaline, Willie Horton. What a good team that was.
Denny McLain won 30 games, I believe.
31. And then Mickey Lolich won 3 games in the World Series. We know that because he broke our hearts.
Against Bob Gibson, right?
Game 7 against Bob Gibson. Great catcher and Bill Freehand on that team. Jim Price, who's a Tiger broadcaster, longtime friend of ours.
That's how I knew I wanted to play baseball. My first ever big league game, I went to Tiger Stadium, and John Hiller threw me a baseball. I was 6 years old, and I said, wait, there's grass in the middle of a city, and these guys get paid to do this, and I got a baseball? I'm going to be a big league baseball player. I'm going to make that happen.
The corner of Michigan and Trumbull.
That's why I gave a kid every single day in batting practice of baseball, because I thought if maybe one kid had that same experience, it could change their lives.
Well done. I love Tiger Stadium. What a great place that was to broadcast and just to see a game. Ernie Harwell put chicken wire in front of the radio booth because it hung so low under the upper deck. And I said, Ernie, one day I said to him, why'd you do that? He goes, because I'm chicken. We were maybe 20 feet above the batter and maybe 30 to 40 feet back under the overhang at Tiger Stadium. That place was unbelievable.
Great yard.
And on the press level where the broadcast booths were, right behind the booth, Bob the attendant had his own hot dog grill back there.
No way.
He would grill hot dogs to your order for everybody in the broadcast level there. You just don't have stuff like that anymore.
I grew up listening to Ernie on summer nights, in the thunderstorm on the AM radio would interfere with the game.
WJR Detroit, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And a guy from Livonia, Michigan caught that fly ball. No, that was Juan Soto. 2 down. Gosh, I miss Ernie. He was one of the guys who sounded the same at the end of his career as he did during his prime.
Never lost.
There was never any drop off for Ernie Harwell. 2 outs here in the 5th. This telecast is bringing tears to my eyes today.
We are taking a stroll down memory lane like 2 old guys having a beer up here.
Hey, it's a Sunday on a holiday weekend. Why not?
I like it.
Here's JT Realmuto. But I don't know if anybody ever made the game look easier than Al Kaline did in right field.
No, you're right. My favorite Tiger growing up was Aurelio Rodriguez, just because I liked his name. Kind of tying it all together, right? Wasn't the best Tiger ever, but just the name and the way he played the infield.
Sure.
And of course, John Hiller, who threw me the baseball.
And of course, Sparky managed there for a while. A little bit after that era, but that '84 team was unbelievable. I think they went 35-5 to start the season. Did. Low and away, 2 balls, 1 strike to JT Realmuto, who has flied to right and struck out swinging. Here our numbers, our ratings are spiking in southeastern Michigan right now. But you grew up there. We all have great memories of where we grew up and our boyhood heroes. Just like some young men and young women are in the DMV now, watching Bryce and Steven and Max and Ryan and all the other great Nats. That's a walk on a fastball inside. Takes Steven Strasburg a lot of pitches to get through 5 innings today. Number 100 will be next, and the hitter will be Starlin Castro.
Steven did a nice job with the shutdown in the 4th, trying to do it here again in the 5th. Got a tough out to get for that 3rd out. Castro's been swinging the bat well all series, but hasn't picked up Steven yet today. I think he struck out on a couple of changeups if my scorecard's right.
First strikeout victim in the 1st, 6th to end the 3rd. Took Max 114 pitches to get through 6 on Friday. And now Steven into triple digits here in the 5th inning today. Makes Tanner Roark's 7 yesterday look pretty impressive. Tanner went 7 for the 6th time this year, through 111 against the Fish. Out of play, right side.
Go the changeup again here on pitch number 103. A lot of pitches through 4 2/3, but effective.
It's a great fastball, and it's strikeout number 8. Steven Strasburg always has something from the arsenal to pull out to get a big K like that. First one taken today.
Runs and Nats hit this season, you get 250 Lexus from DC will provide. So Lexus experience amazing. We can show it to you again one more time if you didn't see it. Nice at bat, got himself into a 3-1 count and smoothed one 421 feet away from home plate. It's not an official homer until we StatCast it and put the red trail on it. So there it is, it's in the books now. 106 miles an hour, 421 feet.
Well, it is the StatCast era, as you refer. Nats will face a lefty now. Harper, Rendon, and Adams, and here is 25-year-old Hartley and Garcia from the Dominican, and it's his second year in the big league. 68 games for Miami last year. This will be his 10th appearance. In fact, this year he's made 6 starts. He's 1-1 with a 3.80 ERA. Bryce is 1 for 4 against him career. Two for 11 in the series. Let's see if maybe facing the lefty keeps that right side, that front side closed, as FP referred to earlier. Pretty good pitch away, 0-2. Now here goes the third baseman Rojas. He'll go visit Hunter Wendelstedt.
Yeah, they're going to stay out there.
Bryce solved it 2 nights ago for one of the biggest hits in this series. The 2-run ground ball double right inside the third base bag gave the Nats a 3-run lead. A hit that was the difference in that game. That was close. 2-2.
Saw the sequence. I don't even think they're showing him anything in.
There it goes. Bryce says, "Show me this." See you later. 16th of the year, the Nats lead 3-0.
That's right, sir. That's a home run. Number 16 for Bryce. RBI number 37. 12 of his 16 have been solo shots, and this is another one. Look at the mistake. They wanted away. Look where the pitch was. That's the danger zone. And how about the aggressive swing? His eyes lit up, and that was firm and far. Upper tank shot for Bryce Harper. What a bet had it hit the seats. That was fun.
We might find that one out near the bus because the loading dock is right out there where he hit it. After the game, we'll have a look.
398, 108 miles an hour.
Wow. 2 more homer for the Nats today. So they've now hit 6 in this series, 2 each day. And Rendon's last time up got the Nats on top. He's going to hook one down the left field line, and chalk literally flew as the ball landed. Anthony Rendon with another extra base hit. So we explained it earlier. His slugging percentage is going to go up considerably today with 6 total bases.
Might have been a changeup that he just stays through the zone with the one-hand finish. There's the paint flying. Bat in the zone for a long time, just one hands one in the corner.
So if you took Anthony Rendon's total bases today, which are 6, divided them by the at-bats, 3, it would be a slugging percentage of 2.000, which is unheard of. Nobody can do that. Even half of that hard to do for a third of that hard to do for an entire season, but shows you what a big day that is.
Still trying to wrap my head around that violent swing by Bryce Harper with 2 strikes. That was, I mean,
wow.
He hadn't seen a ball in there in a week or so, and his eyes just lit up and he destroyed it. That was fun. Fun to watch. More fun for Bryce to hit, I'll tell you that. And like
why not keep adding on here?
We always see hitters next to the hitting coach once they go yard, don't we?
Yep.
It's like, it worked. Thanks.
And this one skied right side. Castro out, Anderson in, but Starlin Castro has it for the first out.
Well, this was just like, I don't know, a snake striking. He hasn't seen a ball in there. Watch how quick he is. Oh, my goodness. It's just so fun to watch a Bryce Harper home run.
So Bryce now with 166 career home runs. Mookie Betts and Mike Trout have each hit 17, so he's one behind those guys for the major league lead. So 2 more homers today. Rendon, Anthony with a couple of extra base hits. Taylor a triple, Defoe a triple, Soto a double.
You know, you see that swing and you wonder in your head, and I'll talk to Bryce, if he's ever thought about getting on the plate like Murphy, just standing right on it and saying, I dare you to come in there.
Yeah.
And making the outer half middle and even the ball off the plate away outer third. If you can still cover the inside. I mean, I'm not thinking of things they haven't talked about down there, I'm sure, but it sure helped Daniel Murphy. I mean, we've seen Murph since he got on the plate as a Met in the postseason in 2015 do so much damage on the pitch middle away, making it middle. And if you're having trouble reaching that outside pitch, you'll make some of those pitches that he's had trouble getting to be able to go to right center. I'm sure Kevin Long and Bryce have discussed it. Just a thought out loud on the air.
Here's Michael A. That's a tapper right in front of the plate. Looked like the bat stopped the ball. Picked up by Realmuto. But the Nats blast their way to another run. Bryce Harper, as quick a no-doubter off his bat as we will ever see.
Of Steven Strasburg. He did it with all kinds of different pitches. That was a slider to Castro. And then with the infield drawn in and Wilmer Defoe on third, Steven takes a cutter and goes the other way. So he did it on the mound. He did it at the plate. It was a nice afternoon for the big right-hander for the Nats. Geico, 15 minutes can save you 50% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you can save. There's a game summary. Soak it in. Check out the bottom number. 23 inning scoreless streak against the Marlins for Steven Strasburg.
He's done for the day after 103 pitches. Justin Miller told me this morning the only thing better than what he did last night was to get a win on one pitch. He struck out his man in the 8th inning yesterday, and that was Starlin Castro, and he got the W. Need expert printing? The UPS store has you covered. Together, there's nothing they can't solve. So this time he gets the power lefty Justin Bour. Nats don't really shift on him. We saw Bour go the other way against Strasburg for a base hit in the second. Then he gashed one that he pulled, but Defoe caught it. Second time up. And the Nats have Mark Reynolds at first base. It is a double switch, and he's batting 9th. He'll be up 3rd in the 7th. If you're keeping score, the pitcher now batting cleanup for the Nats. 0-2. 3 hits today, all harmless singles. Bohr in the second, Rojas in the fourth, Brinson the infield hit leading off the fifth. Steven walked a couple, hit a batter. In line for his 6th win. And this one to left center, tailing towards Soto, who has to come in almost on the full run to grab it. With more on Justin Miller, here's Dan.
Bob, Justin Miller pitched to an ERA above 5 last year at AAA, didn't make it up to the majors, and said his fastball, which once hit 100 in prior years, he couldn't get it to 92 to save his life. So he dedicated himself to getting in shape this offseason, gained flexibility, and saw his stuff return. Fastball back in the mid-90s now. He signed a minor league deal with the Nats this winter that didn't even include an invite to Major League camp. Started the year at extended spring training because the Nats didn't have a spot for him in an affiliate. But here he is and pitching really, really well this season.
Yeah, absolutely.
It seems to be the trend. Mark Reynolds, Justin Miller. I mean, he's got a mid-90s fastball and a wipeout slider to go with it.
Yeah, last time he was in the big leagues 2 years ago for the Rockies with a 5.70 ERA. He walked almost 1 batter for every 2 he struck out.
I mean, look at the delivery. He's showing you his number to start. He's all the way on the third base side of the rubber. He's got his back to you, and then he's striding toward the dugout. Look at this. A lot of Max Scherzer in that as far as where he's stepping and where he's delivering the baseball, almost behind the right-hander.
And he's a big man at 6'3", 215. I would call that a conservative measurement on both counts. 0-2 with 1 out.
And the former Tigers, so we're just bringing it full circle today.
But you did hear from some Nats fans who told you that Emilio Rodriguez was also a Senator.
Yeah, Aurelio Rodriguez.
Aurelio Rodriguez.
He's traded by the Senators to the Tigers.
Nice. We've heard from a lot of you today about our interesting player list earlier. Some great names came up. 1-2 to Brian Anderson. He's going to hammer another one high in the air left center. He has hit the ball hard 3 times today, has 2 long flies and a shot to short, and he's 0 for 3. Rojas next.
That fly ball brought to you by T-Mobile.
Somebody mentioned Josh Willingham to me. We used to call him the Hammer from Alabama. Started his career here with the Marlins. Josh once hit 2 grand slams in a Nats road game at Miller Park. Kristen Guzman's name came up, the second Nat to hit for the cycle. Rick Ankiel's name came up. As far as I know, still the only Nat to homer and sacrifice bunt in the same game.
Yeah, I remember that.
A lot of fun. We appreciate you guys playing along today. Saw Rick on TV in St. Louis last week working with the Cardinal crew a little bit. He's done some work for them. Rojas hit by a pitch and a single.
Talking to himself out there. Need some positive reinforcement before he throws a pitch.
And he's facing the third base dugout, as you said, when he just not even into his delivery yet. How good was this one? Right under the ceiling in the corner of the room. And then that one right off the end of the barrel.
If you could jump in that batter's box right now and kind of see what we're seeing from behind home plate, I mean, he is just, I like how we set up. Stuff plays, there's no doubt about that. And add deception to 95, 96. Now you're talking.
Yeah. Nearing his 31st birthday. He almost had Rojas following through. Debuted with the Tigers in 14 as far as the big leagues. Longtime Ranger farmhand before that. Right in there. Rojas knew it. He was already bending over to take off his shin guard. How good Justin Miller threw 1 1/3 as a brand new Nat.
Taylor with the triple his first time up. We thought we'd show you some triple vision here. And then Wilmer Defoe, same sort of place in that big gap in right center field here at Marlins Park. Head first dive into third. So does he have another one in him? We'll see.
Defoe, Severino, Reynolds, 7, 8, 9. The lefty Garcia stays for now. So for the first time this year, the Nats have 2 triples in the same game. Wilmer this year right-handed, 238, 10 for 42. So that's about right at 50 fewer at bats than he has from the left side.
I think I see sun out. See that outside?
Yeah, the buildings look bright to the east out left field way.
Yeah, look at that.
Could change in minutes though.
Battling. Check it out after the first 24 games. I think it's when he got his hair cut. Honestly.
Yeah.
The day he cut his hair, he got a couple of hits, and
Worked out a whole lot better than it did for Sampson. And Wilmer looking great. I think we had a stat yesterday, and he had a home run last night. So coming into today, he's hit well over 320 his last 23 games. Gonna pop this one up left side. It's going to be close, and enough action for Rojas to stay in play. 1 out. Top 7.
For every Nats walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 support the boys and girls clubs of Greater Washington. The Nats have drawn 200 walks for a total of $10,000. Right on the nose. Care First encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle.
Cha-ching. Severino 1 for 2. Pedro faces Hartley and Garcia for the first time. There he is. Most dangerous number 9 hitter in baseball today. Just in on the double switch.
It's Roy Hobbs. Just waiting around for somebody to sign him. Nothing to do. Take a chance on that kid named Hobbs. Only thing is Mark Reynolds has played for a while and everybody knows him.
Yeah.
But he's been the Nets, Roy Hobbs.
Oh. Yeah, Roy was gone for what, 10 years? And well hit by Severino, and a lot of hook on that ball. 3-2.
Yeah, Mark hasn't been shot in the stomach as far as I know. But he's hitting monster bombs. Nukes, as the kids call them now.
Full count, 1 out, top 7. Good at bat by Pedro. He's on for the 2nd time. How about Mark Reynolds leading off 9th inning tie game last night?
Well, there's lumber and leather, 2 sides to the game. This kind of set it up. Former shortstop made a shortstop-like play. Had to get rid of it quickly in exchange with Cameron Maben on 3rd, and then did this as an exclamation point. So kept it a 1-run game, then made it a 2-1 game. Roy Hobbs, right-handed version.
Garcia has never pitched to the natural before. And right now, after he misses with 6 pitches, JT Realmuto to the mound.
This is tough. You haven't thrown a strike in 6 pitches, and you have to locate this 2-0 fastball. You can't just lay it in there.
Only 3 baseballs left on the scoreboard for the Marlins mound visits.
They should put mounds up there if we're going to get emoji like on the scoreboard.
Right center, perfectly placed. Had it been hit harder for Severino to get to 3rd, but over to cut it, Anderson. And Mark Reynolds just keeps on getting hits. He's now 13 for 28.
Lousy single off the end. Bat might have broke, couldn't tell, but either way, the hits keep coming for the Nats natural. I guess, yeah, natural has matter in it. That fits. Sticking to it. Look out.
There is a minor league team called the Naturals. They're in Northwest Arkansas, AA affiliate.
Get out of the way and then falling down. Trey's had some good at-bats today. He lined out to left and lined out to third. He needs a feel-good knock.
This one out to left center. That feels pretty good. And that baby's going to the wall. Severino has scored. Reynolds stops at third. And the Nats lead 4-0. Turner finally rewarded for a great afternoon of swinging the bat. One out walk comes back to haunt.
Yeah, he'd been locked in all day and frustrated after he lined out to third after fouling off some tough pitches his last at-bat. Now he goes shopping at the gap. That scores Pedro Severino, who walked. Reynolds to third. And Trey Turner turned a 0 for 3 into a 1 for 4 with an RBI. That feels real good, trust me.
That extends the hitting streak now to 8 games. 11 for 36. And this one out to center off the bat of Harper. Coming home, Reynolds trying to get Bryce an RBI, and he will. 5-0. Things happening quickly, and Bryce has a 2 RBI day, and now third in the league with 38.
Nicely done. Good baseball. Another ribeye for Bryce Harper. Good hustle by Mark Reynolds, getting his buddy a sac fly and an RBI. This was shaping up where it looked like it had a chance to be close. Ooh, that was close at third. The throw kind of putters out around the mound, and Reynolds dives into home. 5-0.
Here's Anthony Rendon, who has homered and doubled. Turner stayed at second on that play.
Anthony's walking right now. Taking off his gloves seems to be taking a minute.
Hitters are so surprised now. It almost takes as long for them to jettison the gear as it was to take 4 pitches. So first and second, 2 outs. And in the pitcher spot, an AB for Adrian Sanchez. Adrian 3 for 17 with an RBI. Wander Suero for the 7th. Cleanup spot earlier occupied by Adams. The only slot in the order today without a base hit. So that was a 15 pitch, 11 strike, 6th. 1-2-3 for Justin Miller. Couple of rips by Adrian.
Some good rips in, like you said. Trying to run into one, extend the lead.
Sanchez right at the shortstop Riddle. That's it, but the Nats pick up 2 big runs. Time to stretch. Do I see an Adam LaRoche jersey in the house? 7 extra base hits in this game today. 2 homers for the 3rd game in a row here in Miami. So the Nats pulling out the lumber. Steven Strasburg, a big battle for him to get through 5. But the pitching continues to be so good.
Yeah, Steven was awesome today. He threw a lot of pitches, but so what? I mean, drove in a run, nasty curveball, nasty change like we're used to. Boys are swinging the bat. Some great approaches today. Defoe choking up with a triple. Yeah. Mikey T going the other way. So just a feel-good game so far. Got to give it a finish and play well going into the Orioles series. The Orioles have handled the Nats over the years, so it's good to be playing well going to Baltimore today.
Nats lost 3 out of 4 to Baltimore last year. This time it's a 3-game series. To see those guys 6 times. Then, of course, next weekend, the big one coming up in Atlanta, 4-game series there. But, you know, you go on the road, you've won 9 out of 10. It's a day game after a late afternoon game, and the guys just come out playing really well in all departments.
Yeah, something I failed to mention today. When you've won the first 2 games, you score first against a team that's struggling, you got a big-time advantage. Yeah. So the Nats scored some runs, and now it's an uphill batter for the Marlins as Wander Suero takes them out. Yeah, the Battle of Masson starts tomorrow.
I'm coming for you, Gary Thorne.
Yep.
Look out, Mike Bordick. FP's coming to Baltimore. We like those guys. We'll have a lot of fun in that series, and we expect to see a lot of red at Camden Yards starting tomorrow. So there you go. Bottom 7, Riddle, Brinson, and the pitcher's spot for the Marlins.
And lots of cutters. Curveball to complement it from Suero. There's a cutter.
Wow.
That's more of a slider. That thing. A lot of movement. I think the movement is what is effective, but it also hinders Wander in throwing a lot of strikes because that cutter has so much sweep to it. Where it really works on is aggressive hitters.
Two and two. So Wander, 9th appearance already. And he blows it by JT Riddle. First out, 7th inning.
Washington area Toyota dealers help children and their families by making a $44 donation to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this year.
Lewis Brinson is next. Tyronn Guerrero will be next after they hit for Garcia here in a second.
That cutter's got a lot of sweep to it today. I mean, that started in at 92 and broke to the outer half, and it was a fastball. That was a curve.
His infielder Yadier Rivera to hit for the pitcher. He's attacking the strike zone here.
I mean, this is well, look at where it starts and where it finishes. It's low 90s.
Yeah, tough for a righty to hang in there, and then the ball ends up away. Ooh, almost caught the bottom of the zone.
Severino held it like he thought it was a strike. Suero thought it was a strike.
Pitch Cast likes the low one. Part of the ball in the box. 3-2 with 1 out. And this one to right field, a long way for Harper. And Bryce intelligently sliding to Avoid that wall collision. Don't want that to happen. I don't care what the score is.
I gave it a good run, but the ball was tailing away from Bryce. So good hustle by the Nats right fielder, and knew the wall was coming. Went into a slide. I don't think he gets there.
Guerrero keeps pumping strikes. Defense on their toes. 2 outs on the grab by Difo.
All right, put some summer sizzle into your summer with the Nats Summer Sizzler Sizzle Pack. It's a 3-pack. Get the 3 Summer Nats games for free and sizzle. Starting at just $39, you can sizzle to the ballpark all summer long with the Nats Summer Sizzler. Visit nationals.com.
Just killing yourself, aren't you? Sammy.
So Lee sizzles.
Yeah, for the 8th. Maybe. Probably. So here's Yadier Rivera, 26-year-old infielder from Caguas, Puerto Rico. Minor league free agent signing by the Marlins last November. Was with the Brewers. They drafted him in the 9th round 8 years ago. Severino stood up like he was about to head for the dugout. Another full count for Wander Suero. Trying to win 10 of the last 11 on the road. Davies Nats. To Trey Turner. Oh, the ball came up on him at the end and lost the play at first. Looked like a bad hop on the last one.
Yeah, it did come up and bite him. Laid back on it, was at the mercy of the hop right there at the end. Watch. Stayed with it nice, but Rivera just too fast.
Trey's 8th error of the year. The Nats have only made 26 as the 3rd highest ranked defensive team in the league. Top of the order, Derek Dietrich. Might have checked the swing, but a called strike anyway. Blue Jays 4, Phillies 2, bottom of the 6th in Philly. Last time I saw the scoreboard, the Braves were ahead 6-1 at Boston. Nats just keep on winning. They don't have to worry about what those other guys are doing, except on days we play them. And for in Atlanta next weekend, as Trevor Gotnow is starting to get loose.
Ronald Acuna Jr. got hurt today, and it's gruesome.
Really?
Running past the bag in Boston, he tried to plant his foot, and it looked like he broke his leg. I mean, it's ugly. So the young phenom from the Braves, we hope he's okay. They're calling it a knee injury and some back stuff. But if you watch the video, it's hard to watch. I hope he's all right.
Well, the Nats know all about plays at first from last year. Runner going, 3-2, 2 outs, and a ground ball into right field. I don't know if Mark Reynolds had a chance for it. He broke to the bag, and it was pretty perfectly placed between Mark and Wilmer Difo.
He's backing up right here, and then maybe he thought there was a shift behind him.
Well, suddenly this has become an interesting inning because of the error. JT Realmuto is next. So the Nats have added on. They lead by 5, and the bullpen still has 7 outs to get.
The Acuna thing, if you watch it, Carp, looked a lot like Bryce Harper's injury last year. When he hit the bag, Acuna's was after the bag. But I was looking forward to watching him play.
Yeah, he and Ozzie Albies, 2 of the most exciting young players in the league, on the same team. Well, that's too bad. Realmuto is going to hook one into the corner, and the Marlins have a chance for a couple of unearned runs here. Freddie Gonzalez stops the second runner, Dietrich, at third, and it's now a 5-1 game. JT Realmuto, 5th hit of this series, and his first run batted in. Sammy Solis just popped back up. And with Starlin Castro coming up, it'll be Trevor Gott, who just started throwing a moment ago. Looked like an easy inning. It's gotten very complicated. And may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals.
Lots of ketchup.
Yeah, loading up for the late innings here.
Save some for the rest of us.
Loving that tub of popcorn. And here's Trevor Gott, who hasn't faced any of the current Marlins before. Starlin Castro will be first against him. And suddenly a big situation, because a base hit could make this a 2-run game. Third base Dietrich, second base Realmuto, who just drove in his 17th run of the year.
Yeah, 2 pitches, fastball and a curve. A nice job stranding runners so far. Fastball averaging 95. A lot of arm side run to it in the right-handers.
So 1 unearned run in already this inning.
Skipper wasn't too happy when he took the ball from Wander Swear. I don't know what he's mad at, but you could see it in his face, and if you read lips, you know what he said.
1-1.
No, you do not want Justin Borup represent the tie and run here. It's the last thing the manager wants.
Yeah, so Solis for him. Great fastball outside edge. Castro reacting in disbelief. 2-2.
He hasn't liked a few calls today, but this looked decent to me. That's in there.
Wow. Front door on the breaking ball. It stays up and in. Now it's 3-2.
He had him if that broke a little more. He locked him up. He wasn't looking for that.
Trevor Gott's only hitter here. Right side, Reynolds to his right, to Gott, and he beats Castro to the bag. Trevor Gott gets a big out. Top 8 coming. Juan Soto, double in 3 trips today and 3 doubles in this series.
Juan Soto has had a nice series here. It's time for some Fios by Verizon Expo. A little 2-strike adjustment here by Juan. Going the other way into the gap in left center. And he's so good that he put his glove on, ran out there and robbed his double against the fence. So would have been a hit, but Juan robbed himself. No, that was just a nice play. He's had a nice series here. A couple of doubles, a double today, some good plays in left. The 100% fiber optic network means more speed. For more devices at once, visit getfios.com.
Marlins have stranded 8 today. So top 8 for the Nats, still a 4-run cushion. Tyronn Guerrero, second appearance of the series. He pitched a 1-2-3 ninth on Friday. Rounding out Matt Adams, flying out Adrian Sanchez, and striking out Pedro Severino. So we get Soto, Taylor, and Defoe here.
And remember, Guerrero has the good fastball, 98 miles an hour on average.
Wow.
Threw one 101 the other night.
Arms go straight up as he starts his stretch position. Little old school there. He's from Boca Chica, Colombia.
And the secondary pitches don't match the big fastball for Guerrero. Based on what we saw in one game, so who knows?
Yeah, San Diego traded him over here with Andrew Kashner, Colin Ray, in a deal that sent 3 Marlins out to the Padres. And on the dead run, Lewis Brinson for the first out, 8th inning.
MLB at bat is your #1 Nationals at. Customize your experience, catch every moment this year. All kinds of really cool things on the app. Download MLB at bat today.
Michael A. Taylor, 1 for 3 with a triple. He's 3 for 9 in the series. Chopper over the mound. The race is on. Here comes Castro. He's got Taylor by a step, 2 down. Wilmer Defoe on his way. He has contributed again. Dan, are you going to predict another extra base hit here?
I will not. That doesn't mean that one isn't coming, but I'm not going to go out on a limb there. But talking to Wilmer Defoe earlier today, guys, he told me that back in the Dominican Republic, it's Mother's Day today. And how about this? All 3 of the Nationals' Dominican starters today, Defoe, Soto, and Severino, all have a hit and have combined to score 2 runs today. So a good day for the 3 Dominicans on Mother's Day.
That is awesome. Well done.
Yeah, my buddies in Canada celebrate Thanksgiving in October, so makes sense. Happy Mother's Day.
Very cool. One. Day baseball tomorrow on Memorial Day. A very reflective weekend for our country. That is a fair ball. It went right over the bag. Dan Coco's going to do a report before every Wilmer Defoe at bat for the rest of the season.
Well,
Triple and a double.
Wilmer's going to want him to. At least one person will want you to, Dan. Little inside-out swing.
Wow.
Double down the line. Stay out, Wilmer. That's a nice short swing. That's trying to get that one Marlins run back. I had somebody tweet me the other day, why are you always so mean to Dan? Because he's my friend. That's what friends do to each other. If you're not busting your friend, who are you going to bust?
Pedro's had a good day. Base hit, walk, and a run. That ball hit hard. Left side picked off by Castro. Used to be a shortstop. And the Nats strand their 6th runner, but a big day for the bottom of the order. Park at Camden Yards. Gio against the O's. Looking forward to playing those guys. 3 there, 3 at Nats Park a little later. So Gio is 5-2. He'll be making his 11th start of the year, and Alex Cobb is struggling. High ERA, 1-6. The opponent's batting average .379, but in this series I don't know if that matters.
Well, I got DH tomorrow, so you'll see Mark Reynolds and Matt Adams in the lineup.
That'd be great. Yeah, Mark Reynolds back to Camden Yards, used to be an O. So here's Sammy, 28th appearance coming up here for Anderson Rojas, a lefty and 2 righties.
Yeah, Sammy's fastball has been very effective this year. 91 to 96. He's thrown 1 at 97. Opponents are 5 for 36 against Sammy's heater this year for just a 139 average against. The damage has come on the curve and the change.
Top of the league now with A.J. Ramos and Brian Shaw. 2-0. On 2-0, Ford tees off the center. Taylor, and that thing's way up into the greenery. Justin Ford, 10th of the year.
That's why that last out by Trevor Gott was so huge. You just can't come in and fall behind consistently. It's a hard way to live. 2-0 counts. Got a groove on and Bohr's all over it. Fastball, belt tie, and just hit his 10th home run of the year.
That thing was crushed. Now it's a 3-run game. Brian Anderson went up hacking and fouled one. Sean Doolittle has saved both games of this series. We haven't been told that Sean Doolittle is unavailable, but Sean Kelly is available and up and warming.
It's just such a difference as a hitter when I'm 0-2 versus 2-0. And like right now, you're on your heels. You don't know what he's going to throw. You're just trying to put the ball in play. Very defensive kind of swing. But when you're 2-0, now I'm relaxed. I'm looking for one pitch. I got a nice loose swing, and I'm trying to do damage. So that's why being ahead behind from just a mental standpoint from a hitter is so different.
Anderson, a hard luck 0 for 3 today. It's a 2 long fly balls to Taylor and a hot shot to short. 3-2. No swing. Confirms the crew chief, Larry Vanover. Can't walk a guy here. At least you certainly don't want to. It gets the tying run into the on deck circle suddenly. So 3-2 with nobody out. And he brought the curveball back to strike him out.
And Brian Anderson not expecting the 3-2 curve. Nice pitch, good selection, and nice commitment to the pitch by Sammy Solis. All right, you're going to call it. I'm going to throw it. Nice job.
Miguel Rojas is next. Against Strasburg, hit by a pitch, a single, and a called third strike. The strikeout was actually against Justin Miller in the 6th. One. Right-hander Drew Steckenrider throwing for the Marlins. Jammed him and makes it a routine fly ball. Soto, 2 outs. Riddle struck out today twice by Strasburg, once by Suero. Ball game started at 1:11 today. We're into the 4 o'clock hour here. Marlins Park looks like a nice day outside, but bracing for a big time storm that's out there. The Nats trying to beat the Marlins for the 11th time in a row going back to last year. The season series last year was 13-6 Washington. And the Nats trying to get to 7 games over 500. There's the anatomy of that 10-0. Hitting over 300. Pitching's been spectacular. And that's a good Sammy Solis off-speed pitch. Severino there. So after the home run by Bohr, Sammy makes a good comeback and takes down 3 in a row. 1 inning to go for a sweep in South Florida. Whoa.
Wait a minute. Maybe he'll trade you for a ball. It's time for your Ford drive of the game. Hurry to your local Ford dealers for great savings on cars, trucks, and SUVs. Number 16 for Bryce Harper. Knocking down walls at Marlins Park. Fresh new fade. Hug from the manager. And a big time bomb off the bat of Bryce Harper. That was funny.
Mark Reynolds gets another at bat, and this time it's against Drew Steckenrider, 27-year-old right-hander, 23rd game of the year. One behind Kyle Bearclaw for the busiest pitcher on their staff. 19 Ks in 20 innings.
I don't know that kid's dad, but if Bryce Harper bat, that might be a good trade.
Nobody's trading family members for anything. Come on. Looks like Mark's giving Ramon De Jesus a moment. That thing got him on the mask. And this one high in the air out to center. Just a bit toward the gap is Brinson. First out, 9th inning.
Just missed it.
This is a save situation. And Brandon Kintzler, who has won this year and 47 in his career, is queued up to try to nail this thing down. Brandon did not pitch last night, threw 21 pitches in a long 2/3 of an inning on Friday.
Bryce on deck looking for another chance here. Trey having a nice day so far.
Turner, one career plate appearance against Steckenrider, a base on balls, and this one skying to right. So for Trey, a 1-for-5 day with an RBI double. Home run leaders Mookie Betts and Mike Trout in the American League. Bryce over here. See Manny Machado tomorrow. See JD Martinez later with the Red Sox and Mookie Betts.
One National Leaguer in there, and you're looking at him.
Bryce Harper 0-for-2 career against Steckenrider with a ground ball and a strikeout. That one tails well to the outside edge. The Nationals trying to do something today they haven't been able to do all year, and that's get 7 games over 500. They were 24-18. They're 28-22 now. That's Miguel Rojas running through the bottom of your screen there. Does a lot of jogging when Bryce is hitting if it gets to 2 strikes.
Better get it in there. They wanted it up and in and got it there, but we've seen today that the Marlins and the last 2 or 3 teams have been working Bryce away. Finally got a mistake on the inner third and crushed it.
Added a sac fly, 38 RBIs now. That's a strike call. Inning over. Brandon Kintzler looking for the save. The Nats looking for the sweep. Visit VWDealer.com for the Volkswagen dealer near you. And by Ocean City, Maryland, there's no end to the fun you'll have in Ocean City. Plan your trip today at OCOcean.com.
You know, that roof just slides on those tracks at about 200 miles an hour, just keeps going like a spaceship up into the sky, for those of you who don't know.
Looks like it could. The Nats scored in 4 consecutive innings today, dominated the middle of the game. Marlins have scored the last 2 frames, and it's Brandon Kintzler now trying to nail this thing down. Number 8 hitter is up. That's Lewis Brinson. Looks like Cameron Maben will pinch hit after that. And then Derek Dietrich.
A fastball slider change for Brandon. He's thrown a fastball between 90 and 94 this year. He's thrown 119 fastballs at 93 miles an hour. Got an arm side run and sink to his heater, and obviously his job to get 3 outs and shake hands.
Kintzler struck out Brinson. First batter he faced in the 7th inning Friday night.
3-2 fastball under his hands.
91 tailing that way. '87 tailing that way.
Watch the movement here, right under the hands. This is the 3-2 pitch he threw Brinson the other night. Right under the hands. Ooh. Tons of sink to it. And guess what? He's going there again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And if he hits it, it might be right to Rendon.
Tried. You remember Dan's report the other night. Kintzler with his elbow up in the set position is getting him on top of that sinker, and he's getting that late movement. Show it to you right here. Right there. See that?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Down goes the hitter. Pitch after pitch down there.
Marlins trainer Mike Kozak on the top step, kind of looking to see if he needs to come out. It got him on the guard. And the foot, it looks like, all at once.
Yeah, they're about to hit Maben. They have only one other guy on the bench. Backup catcher Brian Holiday. 1-2 here. Right in there again. Wow. You talk about wearing an at bat.
I mean, he almost has to laugh. He's beating himself up. I mean, this sinker's chasing him, and then he's fouled. Where'd that one get him?
Got him on the back leg, I thought.
Did he do it again off his back thigh? It's the second time in this series, and only the second time I've ever seen it in my life. A foul ball off the outside of his back thigh. He needs a back thigh pad.
And you know, he probably protected strike 3 right there. It looked like Kintzler might have painted the outside edge.
I've never seen that in baseball, and I've seen Lewis Brinson do it twice in the series. I've seen the inside of the back leg. Watch this, the outside of the back thigh. Second time he's done it in this series. Tried to lock him up away.
Braves won their game at Boston 7-1 today, but a costly one, as FP mentioned. Ronald Acuna Jr. hurt on a play at first. 2-2 pitch. Two hopper. Wow, big hop. Trey Turner. All important first out.
Sunday hop.
Cameron Maben is next, so Philly's still playing. They're down 4-3, top of the ninth, at home with the Blue Jays. So the Braves could be back in first, but the Nats keep gaining on everybody the way they're playing. Worry about the Braves next Thursday. Maben in the series, 1 for 2. In this day and age, when almost every team has an 8-man bullpen, you better have a good bench, because usually only 3 guys a game are available. As a rule, the backup catcher is not. Only use him if you have to, or if the result's out of question. These days, some ball clubs in the late innings don't have a whole lot they can do coming off the bench.
Always pick your teeth late.
Two and 0.
Always a good time to floss, I say. Yep. Bottom of the ninth, down by 3, floss.
Seeing things in this series I've never seen before. 3-1.
We've had fun today. Maybe too much fun.
That's extra 12:30 tomorrow. Don't want to walk anybody here. Kinsler throws a strike and the count goes full. Cameron Maben, 2 for 6 career against him. Gio and the O's tomorrow. Fastball for a strike and a base hit. Marlins have life. Tying run to the on deck circle. That's Realmuto, as the hitter Dietrich will step in. Eric Dietrich 0 for 2 career against Kinsler.
Well, life of a ground ball pitcher, right? One at the shortstop, one up the middle, and he'll take one right at a second baseman here and call it a day.
Just what I was thinking. Down and away from a lefty, you'll often get the rollover grounder.
But
will the double play stay in order, though? Because Reynolds is going to play behind Maben, who could probably run 3/4 speed to second base right here.
He's going. Nope.
It's going to hold. Ball 1. Reynolds about 8 feet behind him.
Why not go?
It's a great question, because one ground ball and the game's over.
I agree.
If you don't.
Looks like he's going to cruise here. No? No?
Pop up, left field, Soto. Turner's out. Trey's going to grab it, 2 down. So the good news is JT Realmuto cannot tie the game. RBI double last time up. And he has a hit in this series against Brandon, 1 for 2 career. Trying to nail down a win for Steven Strasburg here. And trying to get the Nats a sweep in Miami. JT last 2 at bats, a walk and an RBI double in the series. He's 5 for 12. There goes Maben. Hit the ground, hit the rail, hit another rail, and pop straight up in the air. And the count's 0-2. $11,651 paid today. Ballpark very quiet. Target away. Ball one. So the three-game series draws just over 30,000 total. Line drive. Turner, series over. The Nats sweep. Brandon Kintzler's second save of the year. Bryce Harper had a homer and a sac fly. And the Nats took a 5-0 lead, did not let it slip away, and it's on to Baltimore.
And when they're 10 of their last 11 on the road, 11 in a row now against the Marlins. Steven Strasburg has won 7 straight starts against the Marlins with 23 scoreless innings. That is amazing, and the hot Nats get on the plane